of Health is now accusing the Office of the Attorney General of seeking to radically change the composition of the National Hospital Insurance Fund NHIF board by removing representation of key stakeholders. The ministry wants representation from FKE, COTU, KNUT, the Kenya Medical Association and faith-based organization retained in the NHIF board, in line with the ministry policy of including key stakeholders in boards. The Kenya National Union of Teachers says removing key stakeholders will weaken NHIF's oversight mandates.
And then we come back.
The Statute Miscellaneous Amendment Bill number 13 of 2018 that seeks to change the composition of the NHIF board has been opposed by key stakeholders. The National Assembly's Departmental Committee on Health is scrutinizing changes in the proposed law. The Ministry of Health told members it was not aware of some of the changes in the omnibus bill and wants them readdressed.
That was not something that we had requested for. So we are also puzzled as to the manner in which those particular deletions came by. And that is why in our position we are saying we feel they are important, those stakeholders, and we want to retain them.
We did submit and submitted to the AG as is required of us, but when we saw the published format, we don't know where or how some of that area specifically, the area of the composition of the board was changed. It was a surprise to us.
The Kenya National Union of Teachers says some individuals with ulterior motives want to review the NHIF Act with the aim of changing the composition of its board so that they can easily access and loot the NHIF funds. KNUT argues that to give the Health Cabinet Secretary the latitude to nominate the NHIF board members is suicidal.
Something else that has also challenged our mind is what is this that necessitated these changes? We should get to the deep root cause of what necessitated this.
The ministry was put on the spot over a proposal to remove the Director of Medical Services from the NHIF board and allow the Health Cabinet Secretary to nominate a person of his or her choice.
The DMS has an immense amount of work that the DMS performs in the ministry, and he's represented in very many different boards.
So we don't want to put, in the investor with the manager. That issue never grows.
The ministry wants the board to determine and set the rates of contribution by employer from time to time to eventually match member contributions. However, members say the provision could be abused and want employer contributions to match the employee's contribution.
Those employers' deductions have to be met with benefits. So the current act that is set only talks of employees' deduction, and we set benefits from those employees' deduction.
The government want to make NHIF the vehicle for delivery of universal health care, but questions remain on how national hospital insurance funds are utilized.
NHIF and MINET, we have raised that question and we wanted them to be harmonized, but we hit a brick wall. We were told NHIF is a statutory contribution, so we can't challenge it. And now that the government is insisting the medical allowance should not be given to our members, therefore the employer must look for a provider.
What informs the bills that are given to patients in the hospitals? Because is it how you appear? Is it if Mheshimiwa you come with a big vehicle, the bill changes?
The Minister of Health wants the tenure of Chief Executive Officer of NHIF to be capped at a term of 4 years and renewable ones subject to their performance. Patrick Amimo, KTN News.
And while the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission Chair Eliud Wabukala says the Commission is up to the task in the war against graft amid criticism over its handling of corruption cases. Wabukala says the current public anger over corruption may provide the public goodwill necessary to win the war against corruption.
The country's anti-corruption watchdog, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, has come under fire, with critics labeling it as a toothless bulldog. And with a spotlight on efforts to fight graft, the Commission says it will step up its efforts.
This is the only unique opportunity, it's a Kairos moment in the history of Kenya, where there is enough public anger against corruption. For me, that's a very good thing. Let us translate this public anger in the action of supporting and actively participating in stopping corruption.
Every
The Commission is looking at how best to handle the war against corruption over the next 5 years, with officials gathering in Nakuru to work on the EACC's strategic plan for 2018-2023. Despite criticism over its record in handling corruption cases, the EACC maintains it has something to show for it.
We have so far 36 cases of convictions, and quite a number of them carry more than one person. So I can tell you we have over 60 people convicted in the last 11 months, including 2 private companies.
In the Court of Appeal on Thursday, the Commission fought efforts by former Cabinet Secretary Michael Kamau seeking to have the EACC blocked from charging him over a 33 million shilling road construction tender. The court will deliver its ruling on the conservatory orders seeking to stop Kamau's prosecution on the 15th of June. Rita Tinina, KTN News.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has included presumed opposition members in government in a latest Gazette notice signed by Head of Public Service Joseph Kenyua. Some of the notable faces include former personal aide to former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, Karoli Omondi, former Ndiwa MP Agostino Neto, and former Migori legislator Charles Owino. And as our Chris Sairo now tells us, key losers in the 2017 elections also got a soft landing after being appointed to various parastatal boards.
Since the surprise ceasefire deal between sworn political rivals President Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga, the handshake appears to have roped in perceived opposition handlers in government. Notable faces listed in the Wednesday Gazette notice include Odinga's long-time political confidant and one-time aide during his tenure as Prime Minister Karoli Omondi, who was nominated as board member to the National Oil Corporation, alongside former Ndiwa MP Agostino Neto, who becomes a board member to the National Environmental Management Authority. While former Migori MP Charles Owino now becomes chairperson of the board of directors of South Nyanza Sugar Company. And in what appears to be an open move to calm disquiet among key poll losers who supported Kenyatta's re-election bid, Mombasa Jubilee gubernatorial candidate Suleiman Shabal, who lost to current Governor Hassan Joho, landed an appointment as chairperson at the board of Kenya Trade Network Agency, while former Kwale Women Representative Zainab Chizuga was nominated member to the National Oil Corporation, while former Isiolo Governor Godana Dado becomes non-executive chair of the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital Board alongside ex-Baringo Governor Benjamin Cheboy, who joins the Agricultural Board Corporation. As a non-executive member, others who benefited from the appointments include former Chief of Defense Forces retired General Julius Karangi as a non-executive chairperson of the National Social Security Fund Board of Trustees, and former Chief of General Staff retired General Joseph Kibwana as the chairperson of the Kenya Ports Authority Board. Others are former Deputy Chair of the IEBC Lilian Mahiri Zaja as a Commissioner of the Energy Regulatory Commission. Comedian Vincent Mwasia, alias Chipukizi, was appointed as a board member of the National Authority for the Campaign Against Drug Abuse, NACADA. The appointments will be for a period of 3 years, with the Gazette notice taking effect immediately. Among those who top Kenyatta 2017 supporters who are conspicuously missing are former Mombasa Senator Hassan Omar and ex-Kajiado Governor David Nkindienye. Chris Dairo, KTN News.
The ASK Meru National Show entered its second day today and has provided an opportunity for various organizations and institutions to showcase their innovation. Now, did you know that human and animal waste could actually be a source of chicken feed? Our George Maringa tells us more.
It is the second day at Gitoro Showground in Meru Town, and everywhere is a buzz of activities. From school children enjoying rides on camel and horsebacks to having a taste of the automobiles. On the other hand, innovators stand in their tents ready to showcase their unique creations. This is the ASK Meru National Show.
Farmers especially would come here and they would learn, they would get opportunity to sample modern technologies in variation.
One cannot fail to stare at two unique animals exhibited at the Chuka University stand. They are llama, a domesticated South American camelid, widely used as a meat and pack animal by the Indian cultures since the pre-Columbian era.
They also consume very, very little. For example, I came with just half a sack of the feed, and that will be enough for 2 days.
At the Meru University stand, we find quite an interesting innovation from students that could actually save you money. Imagine converting human waste into animal feed. Human waste is collected from a latrine like this, made by Meru University students. These insects are the black soldier flies. They lay eggs which hatch into maggots. The maggots will then feed on the waste for up to 12 days. Animal waste is also an alternative if you don't have a way of collecting human waste. The maggots will grow, and if you don't harvest them, they will mutate into flies and lay eggs again, and the cycle continues. And they are quite a delicacy to chicken and pigs.
Meaning you don't waste anything. Hakuna kitu unapoteza. Na hiyo mara nyingi hiyo waste material we don't use it. Na ama tuitumii. Kwa hivyo hiyo tunaonyesha hapa.
Meru Governor Kiraitu Murungi today paid a visit to the showground, while Agriculture CS Mwangi Kinjuri will grace the event tomorrow, Friday. The show, which kicked off yesterday the 6th, will proceed until Saturday the 9th and will provide an opportunity for various institutions as well as organizations to showcase their products. George Maringa, KTN News at Gitoro Showground in Meru County.